Hello, I'm Michaela. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Today we are here to talk about my favorite anime from 2021. Alright, so if you haven't checked out the other my favorite animes from 2019 and 2020, go check those out after this video. Let's jump right into this. Alright, first we have, it's kind of like an honorable mention, Cells at Work, Code Black. This is basically very similar to Cells at Work. Go check out the video I did on it. Links in the description. Because it's basically the same thing, but they turned it up a notch. So here's a snippet of the trailer to see what I'm talking about.
This is my first day. I am 882153.
Grab your O2 now. All you'll ever find here is never-ending toil. Your sole purpose as a red blood cell is to deliver oxygen again and again until you drop.
They're the guys who make the bad cholesterol. They were illegally dumping cholesterol the liver secreted.
The urine is bright red with blood.
It's carbon monoxide!
Apparently they've detected nicotine.
He's losing more hair.
Body odor from aging?
Caffeine! Give me some arginine!
Work, damn it!
Somebody, hurry! White blood cell, please save me!
The only way that we can overcome this crisis is actually...
What's happening to us?
Let's deliver it. I'm transporting this oxygen! We're gonna...
Alright, now let's really get into this list. First we have Horimiya, the rom-com of the year in my opinion. You should never judge a book by its cover, or in this case, judge a person's appearance by their appearance. You'll know what I mean later on. Kyouko Hori, played by Marissa Duran, is a total package. According to her classmates, she's smart, always scoring over 90 in exams. She's beautiful and popular. And she knows how to create a happy atmosphere around herself. Since her parents are always busy with work, she goes home right after school to take care of the chores and her younger brother, Sota Hori, played by Emily Fajardo. In the beginning, we see that Izumi Miyamura, played by Alejandro Saab, helped Sota home after he fell down. As a result, Sota became very attached to him and basically calls him bro, big bro. In school, Miyamura seems very antisocial and quiet, and people assume he's very studious and an otaku. Even though the weather is hot, Miyamura wears long sleeves and to hide his tattoos, and wears his hair long to cover his piercings. Anyway, minor spoiler, they get together, but it's about people's reactions to their relationship and how they learn. They have a few similarities between each other. Opposite personalities attract. Let me talk about these three characters real quick. Yuki Yoshikawa, a good friend of Hori's and has a problem hiding her true feelings from people. Tooru Ishikawa becomes a close friend of Miyamura and had a crush on Hori. Sakura Kouno, she's the vice president of the student council. She's very competent and does a lot of work. I personally was rooting for Sakura and Tooru to really be a couple, because you know what I'm talking about if you watch the show. I mean, I haven't read the manga, so who knows? Maybe they'll have more moments in the future. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Skate the Infinity. High school student Reiki, played by Matt Shipman. He lives and breathes skateboarding. He also loves drawing and creating skateboards. When night falls, it's time to go to everybody's illegal underground race inside a mine where skaters compete in highly dangerous races, and that place is called S. After an unfortunate loss that resulted in Reiki getting his arm broken and his skateboard got destroyed, he was incapable of practicing at all. Later on, he meets Langa, played by Howard Wong, a half Canadian and half Japanese guy with no skateboarding experience. But he does have snowboarding experience, which will come into play as he shows everybody his skill. Langa is in need of money. Later on, both Reiki and Langa get into trouble after a visit to S. Then they're forced into a bet that requires Langa to skate in a race. So basically, the main thing we're going for here is, can they beat the big guys in this skateboarding? Dang, I can't get the word out, but stay with me. Anyway, I just love this series. I love the colors and the animation. And I would never skateboard in real life because I would definitely fall all the time. I fell off a scooter before and that hurt really bad. Anyway, enjoy this series. It's on Funimation, English dub and sub, but of course, dub. Anyway, next we have Remain. Minato Kiyomizu, played by Robbie Damon, wakes up in a hospital after being in a car accident. He's been in a coma for 203 days. To make matters worse, he loses all his memories of his middle school journey, which is where he was very skilled in water polo. So in the beginning, we see how he begins a new life without water polo. So he decides to join Yamanami's high school water polo club. However, he has to relearn everything from scratch. The goal is to get the required 7 members. Let's talk about a few of them real quick. Joujima, played by Mark Allen Jr. He's the captain of the water polo club. He's loud, but not in an obnoxious way. He's outgoing, persuasive, and never gives up. Eitaro Oka, played by Caleb Yen. He was Minato's junior from middle school. He's very persistent. Since he admires Minato, he decided to go to the same high school to be able to play with him. He never got to play in middle school, but he has a shot now since there aren't a lot of members in the first place. Takekazu Ejiri, played by Billy Kametz. He's noisy, hot-blooded, and quick to fight. He used to belong to the baseball club back in middle school. No matter how hard he tries, he was never used in a game. It was like his talent wasn't good enough. He also just wants to be able to play on a team and show what he can do. Shuugo Amihama, played by David Montranga, was one of the members that took a lot to convince him to get on the team. He was a swimmer back in middle school. He's also, minor spoiler alert, the younger brother of Riku Momosaki, played by Jonah Scott. Riku, he used to play on the same team as Minato back in middle school. Akimitsu Bizen, played by Brian Mathis. He is the director of Shogakukan, middle and high school water polo club. He doesn't care about the teamwork. He believes that an ace like Minato is all that is necessary to win a game. The rest of the team is basically necessary tool and requirements. He basically turns Minato from a happy, outgoing, caring young man into an uncaring, bossy, and cruel human being. Minato tries to become one of Japan's renowned players in water polo once again. Now, I've watched water polo during the recent Olympics, but now that I've watched this anime, I feel like I understand it a little better. Because after you watch this, you will understand the rules better. Since Minato has to start from scratch and the new members don't know a lot about water polo, they learn about the rules just like us. One thing I found interesting was that their feet aren't allowed to touch the ground. So how they do that, you ask? They do this thing with their legs called the egg beater. So that's interesting and pretty cool and very tiring. That's a workout right there. All right, next we have Tacto Opi Destiny. The United States of America is in panic mode 24/7. since D2s, an invasive species originating from black meteorite that fell to Earth, people are banned from playing music. If melodies are played, then it will attract the D2s because they hate music. Humanity's only form of defense is music arts. Young women representing pieces of classical music and conductors, the ones controlling them. Apparently, only men are conductors. It would have been cool to see female conductors and male music artists, but what are you gonna do? Keep it moving. All right. Anyway, Tucked, a piano prodigy who only wants to play the piano freely without having to worry about D2s. Unfortunately, a spontaneous D2 attack causes, Tucked to transform into a conductor, and Anna's sister, Cosette, to awaken as the music art. Destiny. Their pact isn't normal, it's kind of unstable. So, Destiny is seen to be in between transformation. Normally, music arts are in their battle gear / very colorful ensemble 24/7. So the trio are on a journey to the Symphonica headquarters in New York City. If you're a fan of classical music, and even if you're not a fan of classical music, you'll enjoy this anime. They play stuff in the background and during the actual show. Like, the character is actually playing some pretty recognizable music. Like, everybody should know, even though you don't maybe really know the artist, but you just know, okay? Alright, so, plus, there are great quotes, and I believe they're mostly said by this character, Lenny. And here's a few. Why do you think music exists? I believe music is something that will bring happiness to everyone. It brings hearts together, softens pain, gives us courage, and connects us tomorrow. And here's one more. The suffering a composer when bringing a song to life, and the tragic history leading up to the creation of the music. That's something you find out later. End quote. So yeah, it's just really good. And music. I love music. I had to watch this. Hopefully you watch it too. And the beautiful animation, all the colors. There's some action in there, clearly. And so, watch it on Crunchyroll. Alright, and I believe this is the last one. So here we go. Stay with me. The case study of Vanitas. Now, I love vampires. I especially love the vampire universe in the Vampire Diaries. It all started... Oh, anyway. Tell me your favorite vampire universe of, like, live action series. I want to know. Anyway. It all started when a vampire was born under a blue moon. Scorned by others of his kind, the vampire Vanitas grew afraid and desolate, according to legend. He created a cursed grimoire known as the Book of Vanitas. This book would one day bring retribution upon all vampires of the Crimson Moon. During the present day, Noe, played by Stephen Fu, is searching for the Book of Vanitas. While he was traveling on an airship, there was a vampire attack. Fortunately, people were saved by a very charismatic human doctor who calls himself Vanitas, played by Zeno Robinson. Noe was lucky since Vanitas already had the Book of Vanitas on him. Vanitas is the self-proclaimed vampire specialist who inherited both the name and the book from his master, the same Vanitas of legend. Noe and Vanitas work together to heal vampires that have become curse bearers, vampires who can't control their bloodlust due to their names being corrupted. And here's a little fact in here. When you drink someone's blood, you learn about their memories. Interesting. Anyway, if you love vampires, you might as well check this out then. And I just love their eyes. Oh my goodness. I mean, majority of all this anime that I've mentioned, they have beautiful animation. Just the colors, I just love them all. And unique eyes as well. But anyway, you can check out the case study of Vanitas on Funimation and Crunchyroll. So check it out. It's lovely. It's all good stuff. And that's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you're going to check out some of these series. I do this series for the people who procrastinate, just like me, who just can't wait sometimes or every week for an episode to air. So now you can just binge it all. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram so you know what I'm doing. Stay updated. And I'm Michaela. Don't forget to comment, like, share. That's out of order. Subscribe. Then hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. I'm Michaela. I'll see you later. Bye.